So, the last console generation that literally just ended this past November has been a really interesting console gaming generation that we have ever seen. So, let's discuss about the eighth console generation. Catch 'em all. So, welcome back to my channel, Infernal Shard 1 for the win. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and be sure to leave a comment down below of your thoughts at the end of the video, and also make sure to hit a like if you enjoy the content. So, the 8th generation of consoles, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, it's been a really interesting console generation with those two consoles. With the PlayStation 4 being the top dog and the Xbox One being the underdog, but there's still some good things with the Xbox One and bad things with the PlayStation 4, and then pretty much like what you can basically already tell by the title of the video and the thumbnail that's going to be on the video, you can already tell of what this video is going to be about. Yes, it's going to be about the amazing mid-generation refreshes that Sony and Microsoft did with the 8th generation, and I actually have them right here on each end of my chair. Right here, as you can tell, is the Sony PlayStation 4 Pro. Pretty darn heavy of a beast with just one hand. And same thing with this one. And then you can already tell that this is the Xbox One X. Now, these consoles from both Sony and Microsoft, they did a fabulous job, and these are the first consoles that we have ever seen that has gotten a mid-generation upgrade to where it's still the same console, but just like better visuals and better frame rates, and also, you know, a lot more prettier open world gaming environments and whatnot. These are the first consoles that has taken a full advantages of those features. Now, this bad boy, the Xbox One X, alright? Now, over the PS4 Pro I got right here, this console can basically do a bit more, and it's got more raw power to it, but there still is some not so much great things with Microsoft, especially when it comes to exclusive games and whatnot. There's only been like a select few that we have been getting, such as like Halo 5 Guardians, Gears of War 4, Gears 5, and Sea of Thieves, which Sea of Thieves wasn't the best at launch, but I've been hearing some pretty good things about it now over the last few years after the game launched, that it's in a much better state than what it did launch back in February of 2018. But other than that, this console can definitely get the job done with especially like more true 4K gaming experience than like what the PlayStation 4 Pro can do. So this is one step up on the Xbox One X over the PlayStation 4 Pro that we have. So I personally do still think that the Xbox One X is still a fabulous console, even with the Xbox Series X and even the Sony PlayStation 5 that we just gotten a little while ago. But even though the PlayStation 4 Pro is... Gotta actually wipe some of this dust off, because every now and again I start getting some dust I have to freaking wipe off. But even though the PlayStation 4 Pro is not like an actual true 4K gaming console like the Xbox One X can, but you do have amazing exclusives that do look the best and play the best on this version of the PlayStation 4, and they almost look like they are in 4K when you really come to think about it. So Games like Uncharted 4 look really, really good on the PS4 Pro, especially even the standard PlayStation 4. Uncharted 4 looked absolutely gorgeous. Horizon Zero Dawn is another game that I personally think still looks pretty darn good on the standard PlayStation 4, but even better on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And mostly the exclusives look really the best. But when you compare third party games such as like Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and freaking like the list goes on and on and on, this guy is going to be the best console that's going to have them look the best on, especially Red Dead Redemption 2 by far. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, it's kind of like in the mix of like half 4K and half 1080p on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But if you play Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One X, it's completely true native 4K across the board. And the game actually plays and does perform a little bit better on the Xbox One X. But it still looks better and still performs better also on the PlayStation 4 Pro than it does like on the base Xbox One and base PS4. So it's still an upgrade no matter what the odds are. So honestly, the big concern that a lot of people, especially gamers, have been wondering is, well, which console out of these two was honestly the best underdog? Well, the Xbox One X, I do like how games can actually perform better and actually play a lot more in 4K than they do on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But at the same time, it's like Sony's got really amazing exclusives and makes their games look great, even if they are developing them for the 2013 model PlayStation 4, the original launch model, and they're still able to do enhancements to make the games even look sharper. Honestly, like there's some evens and outs between both platforms. Microsoft does have, like I said, some exclusives like Gears of War 4, Gears of War 5, and Halo 5 Guardians, Sea of Thieves, but like Microsoft just doesn't have like a whole lot of like catalog of exclusives. On the Sony side, you got Days Gone, you got Uncharted 4, you got Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection, you got Horizon Zero Dawn, you got Marvel Spider-Man, you got The Last of Us Remastered, you got The Last of Us Part 2, you got Ghost of Tsushima, and that's definitely quite a bit more that I named off than just ever the exclusives on the Xbox side. So Sony does really nail it when it comes to exclusives, and their games just look really, really impressive. Even if you play them on the base PS4, they still look really, really impressive. And honestly, I give Sony a lot of credit. Even though Sony right now is technically starting to go back to the, underdog now because of them being so much greedy with their money like we discussed on our previous couple videos. I just don't. Sony just better think before they really do it. But other than that, Sony does really, really well on exclusive games and still making a really, really beasty, powerful beast of a console. Even though the PS4 Pro is less powerful than the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 5 is less powerful than the Xbox Series X, games still perform and look still gorgeous on either both of the PS4 Pro or the PlayStation 5. And I'm still really thankful for what Sony has honestly done. But honestly, the big question is well, which console is actually the best out of these two? Well, I gotta say, I've had a really good run with these two consoles. Well, these two consoles. I actually got quite a few PlayStation 4 Pros and Xbox One X consoles, but these two right here are these are the first PS4 Pro and Xbox One X I had. This is my first PS4 Pro that I bought on August 16th, 2017, and this is my first Xbox One X that I bought on February 13th of 2018, right as soon, like a couple months after this baby launch. So it's really hard to choose between the two consoles of which one that I like the most. But a lot of people just have been wondering is, well, which console do I personally, honestly like the most? Well, it's a really tough decision because I like the exclusives that Sony has done, even with a less powerful console. And I like how this console can play most of the 8th generation games the best and play them the best at like 4K. That's what I'm saying. It's a really hard decision. But I honestly think if I had to choose only one of these consoles, and I would probably have to pick it as my main like 8th generation console, it would most likely be, well, if I can lay this console down right, it would most likely be the PlayStation 4 Pro. Not because of the less power capabilities, mostly because the exclusives on it, and still third-party games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, they still look really, really good, and they still play better than what they do on like the base Xbox One and PS4. So, honestly, out of the two consoles, this is the one that I pretty much choose the most, and that I honestly recommend out of the two, depending on your gaming capabilities. Has the amazing exclusives, and the amazing third-party games may not look like as good as they do on the Xbox One X, but they still do look better than the base PS4 and Xbox One, and they still play also smoother and better on the frame rate side of things than they do also on the base PS4 and Xbox One. So, the winner overall top dog, I personally would pick is the PlayStation 4 Pro. But some of you might actually be a little bit different out there and might think that you prefer the Xbox One X, mostly because you're a casual gamer and you mostly play like games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Call of Duty. Then it's understandable with the Xbox One X. If you don't play like a majority of games and you just play like a select few franchises like I mentioned, Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, then it's understandable why you would pick the Xbox One X. But if you're somebody like me who basically plays like a majority of games and likes even to try out new experiences like exclusives that Sony has been doing and still having a really beasty, powerful beast of a console, then the PS4 Pro has literally got your back in every way, shape, or form. So, but like I mentioned, this is the first time Microsoft and Sony, I had to see something out the window there for a second. But like I said in the beginning of the video, these are the very, very first gaming consoles that we have ever seen a true mid-generation refresh upgrade system of a current generation. And there's been some catches and rumors about this generation that we just started. We'll probably end up seeing a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X like 2 or Xbox Series X 2X, or however Microsoft's going to call their freaking mid-generation Series X upgrade here in the next few years, whatever the heck they call it. I've gotten told that Microsoft is not the best when it comes to naming on their consoles, and they truthfully don't. Because, you got Xbox One S, you got Xbox One X, you got Xbox Series S, and then you got Xbox Series X, and it's like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? It's just Xbox something, and then it's either, but then it's Xbox One or Xbox Series, so it's not that big of a deal either. But Xbox should have just went with like the OG Xbox, the 360, and then the 720, and then this one probably would have been like the 1440 or something. Yeah, this would have been the 1440, probably Xbox 1440. If they would have just did that, everything would have been a lot smoother. Everything would have been a lot better. and everybody wouldn't be getting confused between, you know, the freaking naming of the consoles. They could have named like the Xbox like One S be like the Xbox 720 Slim, and then they could have called the Xbox 720 with the X. They could have called it Xbox 720 Beastie. I don't know. I'm just. They could have called it like Xbox 720 Beastie or something like that, and then like Xbox Series S, like Xbox 1440 one Xbox. See, I can't even fucking think of names either. I just can't. But Xbox could have just did better, like I was mentioning. At least like the main numbers, because Sony's been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're most likely going to do 6, 7, and 8, most likely. But yeah, if I had to choose between the two, it would most likely be the PlayStation 4 Pro, because the third-party games still pretty much good. They still play better than the base PS4, and you got all the amazing Sony exclusives like Uncharted 4 and freaking Horizon Zero Dawn, and the list goes on and on and on. That Sony just really nailed it out of the park. But yeah. So out of the two consoles, you basically let me know which out of the two consoles that you personally pick between these two. So send me down in the comment section down below of which one of these consoles is your favorite, or if you basically don't have a preference and you just prefer both of them and you like both of them, just comment down in the comment section down below. But if you like the PS4 Pro, this bad boy right here, more, comment. And in the same thing with the Xbox One X. So just comment down below of your thoughts of which console you like the most, or if you think that they did really, really great on both of the systems. And hit the like button if you enjoy this content, and also subscribe for if you are new to the channel, and we will be sure to keep you guys posted with some more gaming content in the future. Without further ado, this is Inferno Shard 1 for the win, signing out. Hope you all enjoyed it, and peace out. See you on the next video.